It is cold here in the middle of the Midwest. You can tell because I'm wearing my winter cap. Happy New Year to all of you from the University of Smooth. We do not really do New Year's resolutions at the University of Smooth, but want to start this year off with a soft recommendation for a theme for 2025 for all of you students at the University of Smooth. Experience teaches harsh, but it teaches best. Perhaps you've heard that phrase before. This is a little learn game lesson. If you study intersexual dynamics, you've probably come across the wisdom of body language being deployed in a certain way, eye contact being deployed in a certain way, certain gestures having power, certain words and phrases. And you can catalog all sorts of wisdom pulled from the annals of those going out in the field and trying things out and have a really good sense of what works and why it works. But until you actually go out and try things out for yourself, all of that abstract knowledge can still leave you in a situation where you do not know how to respond until you have experience to back it up. Some of you have probably read about how dominance to your game is important and women respond well to it. Women love to deal with dominant men. It gets back to everything we talk about: get jacked, learn game, convert your talent to clout, and also why violence is such a critical component to how attraction works, whether we like it or not. Within that frame, there is a move that you may have read about from time to time. It's the come on over move. Couple of stories that really illustrate how a move like that can be effective and be wildly ineffective, and why experience is so important for you to recognize the nuance of even the littlest things. I used that move on a girl I'd met online. First time I'd seen her out at a bar, we had planned to meet. We had already been getting along, and I could tell that there was some attraction there, even though we hadn't met. She comes into a bar where I was expecting her. I recognize her immediately. I say, come on over. She appreciated it. She liked it. She even told me specifically how she liked the fact that when I met her, I said, come on over, using the finger gesture. It worked out well. The other day, I was at a bar with a friend of mine and recognized a young-ish, attractive woman who was sitting at the other end of the bar with a couple of rough-looking characters, and she didn't be in a particularly good mood. But I'm looking at her and I'm going, I know this person from somewhere. And at a certain point, locked eyes with her and gave her that move. Hey, come on over. She was having none of it. And when she saw me motion for her to come over, she's like, hey, if you want to talk to me, why don't you get off your ass and come over here and ask me a question? After a few more exchanges, it was very clear that she was in no mood to accommodate me, and I may have made an enemy for life simply by making an attempt like that. I did not defend myself. I simply said, yeah, I'm not going to go over there. That's fine. Sounds good. Moving on. So we have two specific results, the exact same gesture. One worked out really well, one didn't. Now, the obvious dividing line between these two attempts was the fact that one woman was predisposed to liking me and approving of me. Another was total stranger, and also who may have been there with her boyfriend. So now I have two data points, one telling me when it's a good time to use a move like this, and one telling me when it is a terrible decision to try and make a move like this. You only get that by going and trying things out. Now, hopefully you can learn from a mistake like that. Now you have my two data points that will help you out. And it's great if you can use those instances to help you recognize the nuance of whatever you're doing in your pursuit of getting better at your interpersonal social skills. But I impress upon you, when you do this and see it blow up in your face, you learn that lesson hard and fast, and you learn it well. So going into the new year, experience teaches harsh, but it teaches best. We encourage you to learn game, study it through content on our channel, content on other channels, read. I'll even put up here in the little box a couple of recommended authors that you can go find their archive and learn a lot. But until you get into the field and try things out for yourself, all these abstract ideas, they can backfire if you do not exactly know when and where to use them, and until you have a refined sense for what works and what doesn't work specifically for you. Thanks for listening. like, subscribe, and final thought. When you're in a situation like this where you make a mistake that blows up in your face, do not explain yourself, do not defend yourself, do not apologize for it. Just note that it didn't work and move on. Had I actually tried really hard to let this girl know that I meant no ill will behind it and I'm really just a good guy, it probably would have made things worse, and all who the hell cares? You're going to make a few enemies out there if you try to get better at your social skills. These mistakes are necessary and they will help you along the way. Take care.